What has happened with the Clippers right before our eyes is something that is very hard to ignore, and if I say so myself, almost unprecedented. The Clippers currently have 4 stars, and all of them play very well with the ball in their hands. I said this in my last James Harden video, and I'm going to say it as much as I need to. The Los Angeles Clippers didn't need James Harden, as Russell Westbrook was playing productive basketball early this season, building off of that great foundation that he laid last year. It honestly blows my mind that not even 30 games ago, Russell Westbrook was the only healthy star on this team's roster for the NBA playoffs, and against all odds, he was doing everything that he could to keep this team competitive. Against the Suns in last year's playoffs, Westbrook had a 28-point, a 30-point, and a 37-point game. He did all of this while averaging 7.6 rebounds and 7.4 assists too. This man was doing everything for this team, so you'd figure that they'd want to reward this man for his hard work, right? While Westbrook would get a new contract, it'd be painfully evident that he took a team-friendly deal. Does he take that same deal if he knows that the Clippers are going to go out and get James Harden? I'm not entirely sure, but what I am sure of is that this Harden trade has been an absolute roller coaster for everybody involved. We've seen the lows, and we've seen the highs, and we have to talk about all of that, but first, today's content is sponsored by Chime. Let's be real, we all want to tackle those money goals before the year's over, and with the right checking account, you can do just that and cross one of your biggest worries off of your list. This is where Chime comes in huge. Chime's online checking account has tons of benefits that millions of members love, like fee-free overdraft for up to $200, and you can get paid 2 days early with direct deposit, all while managing your money on the go 24/7. Chime has no monthly cost, minimum balance, or overdraft fees either. And get this, you can use Chime at over 60,000 fee-free ATMs, which means with Chime, you have more options than the top 3 national banks combined. Guys, with the holiday season arriving, there's really no better time to take control of your financial future. So guys, be sure to sign up for Chime today. Signing up is effortless and it only takes minutes. Get started at chime.com/coop. That's chime.com/coop. Mandatory disclosure. Banking services and debit card provided by the Bank Corp and Stripe Bank and name members FDIC. Spot me eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Early access to direct deposit funds depends on payer. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal fees may apply. When James Harden was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, he would infamously say that I am not a system player, I am a system. And while he would get a ton of backlash for this comment, it turns out that he was right. Since arriving in Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Clippers have been trying to do everything possible to make sure that James Harden is as comfortable as possible. Don't believe me? Just check out some of these quotes from some of these Clippers stars. Paul George was out here calling himself a glue guy because the Clippers were struggling in effort-based areas shortly after the James Harden trade. He said that him feeling the need to be this glue guy put him in a non-aggressive attack mode, which made him feel out of character on the floor. Now he'd also say that he wouldn't let this happen again, but this is something that you don't want happening in the first place. We are talking about a franchise player here being forced to feel like a glue guy because you traded depth because you felt like your team needed another star. This feeling wouldn't be exclusive to Paul George either. Kawhi Leonard would also admit that there is an adjustment period that has come with this trade. But instead of Kawhi saying that he's flat out felt like a role player like Paul George, he would say that he's now got more energy to exert on the defensive side of the basketball, and that he also has to be ready to attack when his number is called. But to be honest with you guys, I don't think that either of these players mind taking on a lighter load or adjusting their role for the betterment of the team. I really think that at this point in time, these Clippers stars just want to win. I mean, just look at how Kawhi reacts after deferring to James Harden here with the game on the line. This man was happier than when Ed and Eddie would find jawbreakers. And what's funny is that I guarantee you that he's for sure not reacting like this if he were the one to hit that shot. So you guys see the positive reaction that Kawhi had to that shot, right? Tell me why his reaction to Westbrook just taking a go-ahead shot was nothing like this. Now I understand that this was a terrible shot by Westbrook with Batum standing there wide open just waiting for the ball. But did you really have to slap the floor before you even saw if the ball was going in or not? So it's no secret that the James Harden trade has strongly impacted the overall makeup of this team. In fact, it's impacted this team so much that Russell Westbrook has had to volunteer to come off of the bench following this team's 6-game losing streak. I have to ask you guys, do you really think that Russell Westbrook, who has been through so much already and has fought heavily for this Clippers team, really wanted to come off of the bench, or do you think that this was something that he felt like he had to do? According to Law Murray, the NU, it was the Clippers' plan all along to replace Russell Westbrook in the case that a partnership between the two players on the court didn't work. While Lou would advocate for Westbrook, the Clippers front office has always preferred a point guard who is a theoretical fit with Leonard and George in the terms of size and shooting ability. I find it ironic that when James Harden first arrived, Ty Lue said that the plan was to let Harden play more off of the ball and let Russ be the point guard. But instead, the Clippers now find themselves running the infamous Harden system. So basically, after a rocky start for the team with Harden supposedly attempting to play off of the ball, the Clippers would actually have a team meeting a week after that statement from Lou that I just referenced to let Harden know that they need him to be himself and not fit in as the team is going to start playing through him. This really does all fall in line with what Law Murray the NU said, which I also actually called happening in my last Westbrook video. But to be more on the positive side of things, I do think that this move ultimately makes the Clippers better, especially if they unleash Westbrook with those bench units and not force him to be something that he's not, like they did against my Pelicans where he went 1 of 8 from the field in only 14 minutes of play. That 14 minutes would be the 4th fewest minutes that he's ever played in his career. If you guys know Russell Westbrook, you know that he plays better when he's able to get into a rhythm and feels confident on the floor. Cutting his minutes and asking him to be strictly off ball with weird lineups isn't a recipe for success. When the trade happened and Ty Lue said that we've got a talented team and guys are not going to play that deserve to play, I initially didn't think that he'd be talking about Russell Westbrook. In all seriousness, I actually feel terrible for Bones Hyland, who has been racking up DNPs in low-minute games. Remember that Bones initially wanted out of Denver because he wasn't a fan of his role. Anyways, again, to be positive, I guess as things stand, the Clippers do have a good problem. They have a lot of talent and they just have to figure out how to use it. At the end of the day, Harden is right. This team didn't have a training camp or a preseason to figure things out. So once this team really starts running, there's a chance that we might be looking at a marathon. As of late, this Clippers team has been looking very good. This team has undoubtedly gotten better since the trade happened and even addressed an area of concern adding Daniel Tice to their roster after he was bought out by a scorching hot Pacers team. The Clippers looking good is great for the Clippers because they desperately need this whole debacle to work out. Now I know that I've said this in my past few videos, but Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden could all be free agents in the summer of 2024. Now I'm not saying that they will, but that possibility being there is terrifying nonetheless. The Los Angeles Clippers are quite literally the definition of a team that is all in and needs to win now. With all of this being said, I'm looking forward to Westbrook having more games like he did against the Mavericks. Westbrook came off of the bench, stuffed the stat sheet, and took over late. 14, 7, and 8 might not sound like the craziest numbers that he's ever put up, but with the talent that this Clippers team has when they're healthy, that should be all that they need. Guys, let me know what you think of everything down in the comments below. Was trading for James Harden and bringing Russell Westbrook off of the bench the right decision for this front office? At their best, can you see this Clippers team contending in a stacked Western Conference? Again, let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.